Wall Street, Main Street, and Washington all waiting for Thursday's big economic news, the release of second quarter GDP, for indications of where the economy is headed. Ahead of the data, InsideTrack is asking CEOs to weigh in on the economy. Joining us now is the American Electric Power Chairman, President, and CEO, Michael Morris. AEP provides electric service to customers mostly in the Midwest and the Southwest. Michael, we're glad to have you on the program with us this morning. How closely do you, as a CEO, monitor data such as GDP?
Well, we keep a pretty good eye on that. Obviously, it has a lot to do with the amount of energy that's consumed across the country, and it tells us a lot about our planning cycles and what we need to plan for the rest of a calendar year as well as the upcoming calendar year as well.
So how do you see the U.S. economy right now? We know you've been in the energy or power business for more than 2 decades. I mean, how does it compare now to times past?
Well, I think the recovery, particularly in the commercial space, small businesses, small industrial commercial customers are really struggling. I don't think there's credit available for them, and I think you're seeing that across the country. As you suggest, we serve 11 of the 48 conterminous states, but in speaking with my colleagues, I hear the same story across the country. Residential customers, we can't get a good read because the weather has been so incredibly hot throughout most of the United States, and most of us in our homes react to that demand. Industrial, up and down. Industrial seems to be coming back. In the last time we really saw something major like this, 81, 82, jobs left, factories closed down. Here, we've just seen people slow down from 3 shifts to 2 and slow down production lines. Now they're beginning to pick that back up. So it's a little different industrial, but very, very slow commercial, which is odd compared to what we saw in 81, 82, when credit really was available for you and I if we're a pizza factory or a dry cleaner or something like that. So a big difference in that sense.
So it's the pace of the recovery that's very different this time around.
Yeah, and again, particularly in that really small business owner, they just there's not credit available for them like there was coming out of the last deep recessions.
So what is your biggest concern right now? I mean, is it credit in the way that that's affecting your customers?
That surely is one, but our biggest concern is what Washington intends to do with the power production facilities across the United States. The regulatory issues continue to grow without legislative direction, just simply regulations upon regulations, from Dodd-Frank to the EPA to all kinds of organizations, SEC. It's a tough place to do business today in the United States, that's for sure.
And we know you have more than 21,000 employees. What is your biggest cost right now? Is it the coal that you buy? Is it your employees' health care? What do you have to look at with the finest detail?
Well, actually, those 2 points are significant. The new health care bill, we really that has been an additional cost in this operating year. As most other companies, we had to take a write down to first quarter earnings. We don't really know how much health care costs are going to go up because we don't know exactly how insurance companies and others are going to go about doing that. The cost of fuel is an issue because a great deal of the United States coal is being exported to China and other markets across the world. So although natural gas prices are down, you'd expect coal prices to step down with them, and that hasn't happened because there's strong export demand.
Now, what about the way that your employees may see the way that your management team is making decisions? Are you able to keep their salaries capped? Is that one of your goals?
We in fact had no salary increase in calendar year 2009, a very small increase in calendar year 2010. No incentive compensation for executives coming out of 2009, a very small incentive compensation for the management team. We hope we do better than that in 2010, but we clearly have taken a very hard look at that. We had an early retirement program, reduced our headcount by about 2,500 people. So it's been a very difficult time for all of corporate America. We see that in our customers, and we surely had to take those same kinds of reactions ourselves to try to balance the cost to match the revenue flows that we were seeing.
Michael, we wish you luck. We know your retirement is going to come at the end of next year voluntarily, but hopefully you'll come back before that point. In the meantime, we thank you very much for the time. Michael Morris joining us there. He is the CEO of American Electric Power.